Oh, we're comparing stats. Baby girl doesn't know that I am Tom Brady at this game. Married at 18, divorced at 21. Second marriage, married at 25, divorced at 28. Third engagement, engaged at 29, ended it at 30, but I kept the ring. I'm still keeping Tom Brady on his toes. We should not be afraid to leave these men. We are not stuck with these people. Marriage is not a sanctimonious thing. It is paperwork. It's something, it's a commitment you make to someone. But if you feel like you're not getting anything from that commitment and you're trying, you gotta go. You gotta go. You have to go. I know it's difficult to fill out paperwork and to make appointments and to do all of these things, but this is your fucking life. Do you want to be stuck with someone? Period. Do you want to be stuck with someone?
A broken and derelict woman, Mia Khalifa, has fast become an oracle for other broken and derelict women. Can you believe that anyone looks up to this individual as a role model? Oh, of course she can portray herself as confident. She's already attractive. She can act like she's got experience and like she's got it all figured out. But everyone knows what she did. Everyone knows why she's famous. Her actions will follow her for the rest of her life. And she's hardly taken responsibility for any of it. Really, none of it. I didn't see her get up there and warn the women of America, don't do this. Make sure your daughter doesn't do this. Make sure your daughter has more sense in her head. Look at the mistakes I made. If your daughter is even thinking of doing something like this, make sure she turns right back around because it is a mistake. Instead, we see Mia Khalifa crying like she's some kind of victim, even though every person with a functioning brain has more sense in their head. Would have known not to go and make the videos she made. But let's go back through that video and really analyze what this woman is saying.
Oh, we're comparing stats. Baby girl doesn't know that I am Tom Brady at this game.
Side note, does anyone else hate how wider culture is now appropriating Ebonics? My older viewers will know it's been going on for a while, but it's obviously hit some sort of peak saturation because there's no reason she needs to be talking this way. It sounds totally forced. So the woman she's responding to says she was married at 18, divorced at 20. Now, this is pretty young for this day and age. Most people are married right around their 30s. And divorce, especially that quickly, would have been considered a significant moral failing even 10 years ago. A woman who is a sexual failure is not necessarily ugly, but cannot secure a long-term, stable relationship, stable, committed relationship from a high-quality man that provides for her. And Mia has been given this chance multiple times and has repeatedly failed at it. She is a sexual failure. So what this track record, what these stats, as she calls them, are going to show is that she can't get a decent man to commit.
Married at 18, divorced at 21. Second marriage, married at 25, divorced at 28. Third engagement, engaged at 29, ended it at 30, but I kept the ring. I'm still keeping Tom Brady on his toes.
Notice the joint between her fingers? I don't know about you guys, but it just seems so masculinizing to me when a woman openly smokes pot like that. It is just not attractive and not a good sign.
We should not be afraid to leave these men. We are not stuck with these people. Marriage is not a sanctimonious thing.
She's using the word sanctimonious in the wrong way. I had to point this out. I couldn't stop myself.
It is paperwork. It's something, it's a commitment you make to someone. But if you feel like you're not getting anything from that commitment and you're trying, you gotta go. You gotta go. You have to go.
Now, don't we love the consequences of diminishing time preference? If something doesn't serve your interests immediately, then you gotta leave. There's no such thing as putting in work into a relationship or marriage. Girlfriend, if it isn't serving you, if it isn't helping you in the right here, right now, then you got to go. Just a reminder that Mia Khalifa is mentally shattered, as are all other women who choose this path in life.
I know it's difficult to fill out paperwork and to make appointments and to do all of these things, but this is your fucking life. Do you want to be stuck with someone? Period. Do you want to be stuck with someone?
Millennial and Gen Z women are so mentally shattered they can't even fill out paperwork. Ha! So you're telling me if you really hate somebody, but you have to fill out paperwork to be separated from them forever, you won't do it just because the paperwork's too hard? Tell me this generation's spirit isn't broken. That a former porn star thinks she has to tell other women to just do paperwork in order to separate themselves from the husbands that they hate because that's how low the bar is. Historically speaking, it has never been easier for a woman to divorce her husband. Divorce is not even seen as a moral failing anymore. That's how low the bar is. And this ex-adult actress has to tell you to go through with it even though there's paperwork, and paperwork is tedious. That is how mentally shattered modern women are. But this social rot, this cancer, has spread through every conceivable segment of society. Just watch.
I did this experiment. I was on the New York City subway. It was in the winter. Everyone has a big coat on. And so I'm just looking at heads sticking out of the winter coats. And I said, why do I know who's male and who's female as I go down the line? This was just a simple question I asked myself. And I say, well, these 6 people are female. Those 4 are male. Why am I sure of that? I was sure of it because what I was queuing on were features that are secondary and tertiarily added to a person's appearance. So all the girls compared to the boys, I looked at what are the girls doing? They have on average longer earrings. They have 2 earrings. They have on average longer hair. They have eyeliner. They have tweezed eyebrows, longer nails on average, painted nails. They have makeup, a blush. Okay. And if there was any hair on their upper lip, that got removed. Any hair between the eyebrows, removed. If it's all trimmed there. And I said, those are the girls. What are they wearing? They're wearing girls' clothes.
Supposedly one of the smartest men this country has to offer, who is a linebacker in high school and college, if I'm not mistaken, and he can't tell the difference between men and women. Deeply disheartening. I'm a nobody, and I can tell the difference between men and women. Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is a household name, and he's struggling with this. Can someone explain that to me? Please, go in the comments and tell all of us why this man has lost his mind. I'd love to hear theories.
Well, how do I know they're girls' clothes? Just go to the store. They know how to sell you girls' clothes. There's a whole section for just girls and women. Okay. I'm just saying girls and boys. How about the boys? Oh, the boys. If there's anyone who is a little thin and flabby, they went to the gym. So they sitting down and they got some muscles they can show you. And they've got, and they might grow a beard and a mustache because that's a manly thing to do. And they're wearing boy clothes because they went to the boy section of the store to get it. And if the woman's chest is not as large as she wants it, she goes and gets surgery to make it bigger, as 300,000 American women do every year.
I know several. You're right.
Okay, so my point is, apparently the XXXY chromosomes are insufficient. Because when we wake up in the morning, we exaggerate whatever feature we want to portray the gender of our choice. Either the one you're assigned, the one you choose to be, whatever it is. And so now, so now just to tie a bow on this, I say to you, somewhere I think I read that the United States was a land where we have the pursuit of happiness.
Yes.
Suppose no matter my chromosomes, today I feel 80% female, 20% male. I'm gonna put on makeup. I'm gonna do that. Tomorrow I might feel 80% male. I'll remove the makeup and I'll wear a muscle shirt. Why do you care?
Yeah.
What business is it of yours to require that I fulfill your inability to think of gender on a spectrum?
I care, Neil, Because where this leads, the end of this road, is you peer pressuring my son into cutting off his penis and my daughter to mutilating her breasts. I care because that's the end of this train. Because that's where this country is headed. There's only one real, true, ambiguous intersex condition, and that's androgen insensitivity syndrome, where you have someone that is apparently a woman but then actually has XY chromosomes. And that comprises not even 1% of the population. Now, what we have here with this transgender movement that Neil deGrasse Tyson has unfortunately come out in full-throated support of is the machinations of a group of transhumanists who want to treat humanity as though humanity is fundamentally androgyny, as though a child born naturally from his mother's womb is actually androgynous, can be sexed one way or the other based on what power has decided. That someone's sex is assigned at birth and not an inherent part of who they are. And of course, people like Neil will attempt to employ the rare instances of intersex people as counterexamples to this binary. But we have seen what this gender ideology does to people. We have seen it makes people miserable. This is not liberation. This is a form of transhumanist manipulation and slavery. And Neil and his leftist allies will, of course, play all the linguistic games with us in the book in order to justify it. But really, when you're dealing with other people, when you're dealing with normal people on this issue, when you're engaging your parents or your friends or some other relatives on this issue, if they want to let it slide or they think it's fine, ask them, do you think it's fine? Do you think a man is happier that his penis has been inverted? Or a woman is happier that her breasts have been mutilated? Does that bring true happiness? Is that truly the pursuit of happiness? Is it not my business if my child feels that they need to mutilate a part of their own body in order to be happy? Is that not my business?
There's so much trans hate in the fucking world. There's so much trans hate in the world right now, and I'm so done with it. And pride just means that we are unabashedly happy just to be alive.
Yeah. And where do you personally feel that hate is coming from?
Most places, but especially the government.
And in your own life, where would you say that you feel the hate the most?
I feel like I kind of internalize a lot of the hate, so it feels like it mostly comes from myself at this point because
There we have it, the ultimate confession. And I love this interviewer because this woman doesn't even know why he's asking these questions. With a lot of these sort of street interviews of leftists, the leftists always figure out that this is ultimately for right-wing or antagonistic purposes, but she is utterly unaware of this and unabashedly, just perfectly honest about what's going on inside. At the end of the day, fundamentally, these people hate themselves. They are miserable and they hate themselves. The only thing that keeps them alive is that they think if they can make it another day to see you die, then they'll be happy. That's why they're so hateful. They think their deep-seated hatred of themselves is because of you, and the media sells them this lie perfectly. What we have to do is be compassionate. And the way to be compassionate is to tell them that the only reason that they feel ashamed of themselves is not because of you or me, it's because what they have done is wrong. The problem is not me, it's that they feel that they need to do what they're doing to themselves. You need to tell this person, I don't hate you for feeling this way. I am trying to communicate to you that the way you are feeling is making you sick. You should say to them, the fact you don't feel comfortable in your own body as it is a real problem. And getting a bunch of surgeries and ingesting all these hormones and chemicals is not going to make that feeling you feel when you look in the mirror and you feel disgusted go away. The only way to overcome this is to change how you interact with the people around you, to leave bad people in your life behind. You're telling me you hate how you look in the mirror and the only solution is to chop your genitals off? That's insane. I don't want you telling that to my kids or my niece or my nephews or my young cousins. That is an awful lesson. Please, do not associate with us until you are healthy again, until you are sensible again. That's really what you got to tell people like this who think this way. And some of you will say, oh, this isn't such a big problem and this is mostly an online internet thing. But there are more and more of these people every day. You check the statistics. You walk around on a college campus. This is the result. You look at young people in high schools. This is the result of social media echo chambers. People being corralled into information silos. This is the result. The media, government, and academia have incentivized these behaviors, and people in the culture exalt it in order to earn social capital and to feel like they fit in. I can already think of 5 people in my graduating class who have become a part of this community, a part of this movement, just to feel like they fit in. It's sad to see it. It's sad to see the hoops people will jump through just to feel like they have some kind of place in this world. That mankind has become so alienated from their own bodies that they're willing to cut off pieces, or say it's fine to cut off pieces, just to feel like they have friends and they're not alone. It's sad. Look out for anyone in your life who you think is at risk of thinking this way. Anyway, that's it for this video, and Red Channels will catch you in the next one.